Is that considered the East Coast?
No, I think it's the Midwest.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Because that one Sade song, she's like, coast to coast, LA to Chicago. I'm like, what
You're like,
fuck?
that's not a coast. Okay.
No. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about your transition moving from Chicago all the way out here.
Yeah. I think I was like 18. I came for college. So like, I think that was helpful because it gave me like a purpose. I'll have friends or just like people that I generally know like from Chicago that like will move here, and I think it seems so scary to like trying to find a place to live and like a job like all at once. And like especially if you don't know anybody, because I don't have any family here or I didn't have any friends, like it's like, what do you do? Like that's horrifying. And so like for me it was like easy because you went to school, you had like a dorm or whatever, you had to, and you had like things to do with your days, and you had like built-in friends. You know, I didn't have to be like floundering so much. But yeah, so I went to USC.
What did you study?
Fight on.
Fight on? What is it?
That's for me, that's the USC like thing, fight on. I did studio arts, fine arts.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I did photography when I started, but then I realized that I like didn't like that anymore. And so then I started to do graphic design because I just knew that that would be something you could use in the world, right? Like maybe if I didn't stay in art, you at least like could spread that somewhere else. And then I started to hate graphic design too. So then I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna do music industry instead. Well, I actually didn't end up doing that though. I stayed in art. So that's what I graduated with too. I did graphic design until then. So there was a period of time in college where I like was just like, yeah, I was floundering, and I just was like, what am I doing? Like, everybody has that, right? Like, you're like 20 or something, and you're just like, oh, I don't like know my focus is, like, and I didn't, because I didn't really like school that much. While I was having like the moment where I was like, I don't know, I took some entrepreneurship classes, because I was like, just as with the graphic design, I was like, these could be helpful somewhere. So I did them like on the side. We had to like make our own businesses, you know, like a fake business. And so like part of it was like within your field, whatever your business was focusing on, mine was music, of course, we had to interview all these like business owners, just like small business owners like in LA, or just like people that like work within the industry like you wanted to join. So I did that. And I interviewed like a bunch of people, just like people that owned labels, like record stores, like, I don't know, like PR stuff, like people that made music videos, just stuff, which was helpful, because then you're like, oh hey, this is me, like remember my face. So I did that, and the first person I ever interviewed was my boss now. So we got coffee, and like I asked him questions about just like what he did and like how he started a record label and stuff, and then I sent him a card, like a thank you card in the mail that was like, hey, if you ever need help, like hit me up. And then he hit me up. I just like fell from the sky like into music industry. I was just like, well, here I am now, right? So like yeah, I don't know, it was helpful, and I did that. So I worked there for a little while like during school too, and then once I graduated, like it was an easy transition because it was just like, hey, now I have a lot of free time, like let's do this for real, you know? So then I joined like as like a salaried person.
So what would you say to someone who wants to move out here?
I think
to move anywhere.
Yeah, just to move anywhere. I don't know. I think to move to LA, I'm gonna be a little bit of a meanie right now. I'm gonna be a little bit mean, but have like a clear idea of like why you want to move to LA. I know what it seems like. It does seem like everything is great there. The weather is great there. All of the options are there, right? It's like, it does seem like somewhere where you could achieve. But I think that it kind of is, it's just not helpful to think like, oh, my city sucks, LA is amazing. It's like maybe your city does have those things for you, but you're just not like looking for them. So I think, especially like if you're moving from Chicago, like Chicago has like that's a great city and people really like it there, and it's like metropolitan too, and I think that you just have to like dig a little bit first, and if you really can't find those things, like yeah, by all means. Or if it's like an industry that's like really thriving here, for sure, move here. But I would say like just like be focused a little bit on like what really is the reason why I'm moving here. Like, is it just because like it looks fun, or just because like I think I'm gonna make it? I don't know. I always feel a little bit not sure about like people that kind of have that idea. I don't know. I just but I also want to like support anybody's like life change. It's like, go for it. If you like want to try a new place and this is the place, like sure. But I also think like it's just a bummer that like it seems a lot of cities are just like pushed to the wayside. I guess in moving in general, it's like yeah, I would just like be focused. Like just don't like leave things to just decide themselves. Maybe that would be cool, but like as a planner, I don't think that that's cool. Like
There we go.
yeah, maybe that's cool like in a cosmic thing, like, oh, it'll figure itself out. Personally, I feel like at least know where you're gonna live and where you're gonna get money for like at least a little. Even if it's just like a starter job where you're like working at Barnes & Noble for a second, that stressor, to have that like off the table, maybe it'd make it easier to like find out, yeah, like where your passion is or how to make friends and stuff. Just like to have those like basics done. Or maybe go to school somewhere and then that's where you move. I don't know. It's an easy transition.